You may remember from DEVLOG 22, 7 days ago, I mentioned how I wanted to have an animation play when getting stunned. Well, I made that and quite a bit more in these past 2 days. I put the animation into Unity, then split it into individual frames, and stuck them into the animation thing, and now we have a stun animation. It is never going to appear in the game yet, because it's not been set up yet, but at least we have it now. So then FPS. We were staying around 60 FPS, which I didn't understand why, because I thought I had disabled VSync a long time ago. But when looking at the profiler in Unity, you can see that VSync is still using most of the performance, which obviously meant VSync was still enabled somewhere. So I searched up where VSync options were. I had already searched through the graphics and quality tab in Unity project settings, but apparently I'm just a big dumb, and I missed it, because it was in the quality tab, and it was on. So I turned it off, and that did nothing. It was still staying around the same FPS, so I had no clue what was happening, but then I just set the target FPS to 1000, so it should be the highest FPS it can, and boom, now it was getting 200 to 300 FPS. The FPS would get lower if you spawned 8 waves of enemies, which is a decent amount of boys, but that's fine because it won't happen in the game ever. I also was assuming that my sorting script was trash, so I fixed it. JK. All I did was change the update to fixed update, which worked pretty well because now I was getting 300 to 400 FPS and sometimes 600-ish if you stood still. However, now the enemies were way faster. Do you see any problem? Because I didn't. Then I realized the problem. We had became Bethesda. I assume some of you know what I'm talking about, but Bethesda really likes to never change some things and always has the same bugs, including one where you could run faster the higher FPS you had. Like this, you could just look down and you would be able to get a much higher FPS and be able to outrun anything, mainly enemies. Like, this is the funniest trash. So you know, boys, we are now Bethesda. Except we are for sure going to change that because it's really tragic to get ran down by enemies. Luckily, it will be easy to change later since my friend is offline right now. You guys know Francois, a legend in the Discord server. Well, he wrote a script for sorting when he saw my trash. 1, he did not state this, these are my words, but I am bad at coding, so you know, it's all trash, the entire game. The thing is, I was gonna use it because he had put a lot of work into putting comments and stuff into the code. However, I chose not to use it when I saw this. Under the usage section, it said add sprite renderers of all pre-added scene objects to this list, which I personally ain't gonna add 600 to 700 sprites to that list. I would be doing that for about 2 weeks, so I didn't use it. Sorry, my friend. Maybe if I had it like 7 months ago when we started this project, but it's too late now. If you watched the last video, you will have seen some enemies chasing the character at the end, and they didn't have animations. I checked this enemy and realized that was because the animators got deleted off the enemies or never added. Who knows? So I searched through the assets folder and found the animator that corresponded with the enemy and added it. And repeated that for the rest that didn't have animators. I also then added some of the animations I had made in recent videos. We got the Splosion, the Slime Bounce, the Reed Throwing, the Little Log Swing, and the Goat Punch. And that is 43 changes sent to my friend. So today I made an idle animation for the doggo since I had forgot to make one of those earlier. Then I also put the run animation that I made at some point onto the imp. Then the long-awaited stun animation has finally been configured. So I changed the doggo to be a mountain doggo, and now when he slaps your cheeks, you get stunned. My friend then set up all the animators for the enemies, and now all I need to do is fill out the ones that are missing by making the animation and slotting it in there. My friend also did some stuff with the ranged people and made a script for them to work. Basically what the script is the pathfinding until they get into a certain range, and then they stop to fire at you. If you are just outside of their range, they won't fire and won't start to follow you again until you are 1.5 times their range. Since we had the script now, I just needed to add spawn points for the projectile and the projectiles that I made a long time ago. First, I added the stuff to the reed thrower person, and it didn't do anything. Hog chimp. And I added the stuff to the bee, then told my friend it didn't work. So he went hacker man and fixed it. And look at that, it worked. Can you see them? The projectiles are going at Mach 10, so you can barely even see them. This is 20% speed of that same clip. But I tweaked a few things, and it worked all fine and dandy, but the projectiles didn't rotate towards the character. But that can be done tomorrow. Also, boys, can we hit 1,500 subscribers before New Year's? Lol. I would just like to thank all the Patreons for support so far, and anybody else that has been around for a while. I started this channel 7 months ago, and so far we have hit 1,400 subscribers. So thanks for 200 subs a month. It's been pretty slow growth recently since September when I stopped doing weekly videos, so hopefully YouTube will start recommending me to more people again soon. Thanks again, boys, and have a good day.